in some people or in some things other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the way of shirk, because the believers believe that all the power in the hand of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَعَلِمُوا أَنَّ الْقُوَّةَ لِلَّهِ جَمِيعًا. There is no division in the power. It's only one, and it's in the hand of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He uses it how He wills. لَإِنْ أَشْرَكْتَ لَيَحْبَطَنَّ عَمَلُكَ. And He knows everything, so He can hear when we call Him, and He can help us. He can reach us and help us wherever we are. So the dua, the call can be done only to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Lahu da'watul haqq. This is the just dua. This is the way of the truth in dua. But if you do dua to others than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you began to commit shirk in this religion. And committing shirk, it's the worst crime in Islam. And at that moment, لَا يَحْبَطَنَّ عَمَلُكَ. Your all good deeds will be cancelled. لَا يَحْبَطَنَّ عَمَلُكَ. And this word in Arabic, it means that in no way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will cancel it. لَا يَحْبَطَنَّ عَمَلُكَ. You cannot assume any exception in this rule. If he is a mushrik, if someone began to commit shirk in Islam, then after that moment Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will cancel all his good actions, will cancel all his good deeds, and He will not reward him for his deeds. وَقَدِمْنَا إِلَى مَا عَمِلُوا مِنْ عَمَلٍ فَجَعَلْنَاهُ هَبَاءً مَنْثُورًا. And we will go upon whatever deeds he done, and we will scatter them all. We will not remain any thing from them. وَقَدِمْنَا إِلَى مَا عَمِلُوا مِنْ عَمَلٍ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not accept any deed from that person after committing shirk. لَإِنْ أَشْرَكْتَ لَيَ. And this rule is common between all the messengers, between all the prophets. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked them all to inform their people that the only one God will not accept any deed with shirk, will not accept any good deed with committing shirk. لَإِنْ أَشْرَكْتَ. We should not forget this rule. لَإِنْ أَشْرَكْتَ, because it's the most important rule in this life. If you commit shirk and die in that state, then you lose everything. You lose your life, you lose the chance of eternity and the chance of entering paradise. This is the worst thing can happen for someone. لَإِنْ أَشْرَكْتَ لَا يَحْبَطَنَّ عَمَلُكَ. If you imagine someone, he could have many bad deeds, disobedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He may not pray, or he may not do righteous things, but if he believes that there is only one God and He is the only one who deserves to be worshipped, and other than Him all them are the same, all them is creatures of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the pure belief of Tawheed, monotheism. This person can enter Jannah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can forgive his sins, and He can admit him to paradise. But imagine a person who prays day and night, the 5 prayers in a day, and does good things, but do not reason that there cannot be any deity except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and goes to some people believing that they can help him and they have some authorities from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through His permission. This person will not admit Jannah, because shirk cancels out all the deeds. So the most important thing, and at the first hand we should learn this reality. If we neglect this reality, after it we can lose everything we are doing in this life. Why is it like this? Why? There is a very important rule, and after that there is many righteous deeds, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do not accept them. He only looks to this reality. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the only one God, before giving us the hands and before giving us the legs and this body, and much more important than them, He gave us our minds, our hearts, the ability of reasoning, the ability of thinking is more valuable than other actions in mankind. So subhanahu wa ta'ala begins with the biggest favor He gave us. He asked us to reason first of all. If we do not reason the truth, if we do not realize the truth, but only blindly imitating the others in our life, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not accept that deeds in our life, because He says, إِنَّ شَرَّ الدَّوَابِ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ الصُّمُّ الْبُكْمُ الَّذِينَ لَا يَعْقِلُونَ. According Allah, the worst creatures in this life, the one who do not reason, the one who do not observe the truth, the one who do not listen the truth, in الصُّمُّ الْبُكْمُ الَّذِينَ لَا يَعْقِلُونَ. Those who do not reason, they are the worst creatures in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so after that crime, after that biggest crime, Allah do not accept any action, because all the actions starts with the pure and good belief. If there is no pure belief, we cannot talk about any good action. So in this ayah, the ayah number 65, we learn that if we commit shirk, then our deeds, our good deeds will not mean anything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not accept them. لَإِنْ أَشْرَكْتَ لَيَحْبَطَنَّ عَمَلُكَ. And this rule, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informed it to all His apostles. وَلَتَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. And after committing shirk, we cannot hope anything. This is the end. وَلَتَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. And you will, certainly you will, وَلَتَكُونَنَّ. No way, if you commit shirk, then you will one of the losers. وَلَتَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. We should explain this reality. This is the reality of Quran. It doesn't belong to those people or that people or the Arabs or the other nations. This is the reality of Islam. If you want, and it's not the reality of only Islam, it is the reality of all the religions that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down through any prophet. Imagine any one of them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked them all and said to them all, if you commit shirk, I will not accept anything from you, and you will be certainly one of the losers. When we try to explain this reality, some people says that you want to say to us the opinion of the Arabs or opinion of the other people or some people. No, look at the Quran and read the Quran. You will see that this is the message of Islam. This is the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which He sent it to all His apostles. If you commit shirk, so we should be sensitive at that point. We should be very sensitive at that point. Look, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make only one exception in shirk. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَغْفِرُ أَن يُشْرَكَ بِهِ وَيَغْفِرُ مَا دُونَ ذَلِكَ لِمَنْ يَشَاءُ. Allah do not forgive committing shirk, associating others in worship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, making dua to others with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you do that, Allah will not forgive you. وَيَغْفِرُ مَا دُونَ ذَلِكَ لِمَنْ يَشَاءُ. And other than shirk, Allah can forgive any kind of sin, big or small. Allah may forgive them for whom He wants, for whom He wills. But shirk, if someone dies in that state, He says that He will not forgive him. So from this, as a conclusion, we should understand and say to ourselves and to others that if there should be a sensitive approach, we should be very sensitive at this point. Some people very sensitive in their deeds, in their actions. They are already asking, what should I eat, and is it haram, is it jaiz, or what's your opinion about this food, or what's your opinion making like this in salah, or in praying in that way. I do not say that this is not important or it's not good. Yes, it's good, but when we see that that person who is very sensitive in his actions is not sensitive about his belief, this is very sad point. How he can, when you warn him about his belief, he says, you cannot understand, my belief is good and it's very deep way, so please do not warn me about it. He is not sensitive in that point, but about his actions he is very sensitive. Subhanallah, this is the way of the mad people. It's not, you cannot explain this. When there can an accident, when they take the person from the accident to the hospital, the doctors first of all looks to his head. If there is a serious thing in the head, they starts with the head, and if they cannot solve that problem in the head, they only wait, because if his head is not sound, his body will not mean anything. Belief is something like that. If your belief is not pure, is not sound, your action will mean nothing. لَإِنْ أَشْرَكْتَ لَيَحْبَطَنَّ عَمَلُكَ. If you commit shirk, then your actions will be cancelled out. وَلَتَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. And certainly you will be one of the losers. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم ولسائر المؤمنين. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا واخطأنا. ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا. ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.